Hi, welcome to another day of API demoing. I've forgotten what number video we're on, so that's why I'm not saying that. All right, so in the last video, we made our first commit to GitHub. It was really exciting, but we didn't actually commit any code. So we're gonna actually create some code today. So let's first, before we create some code though, switch to a different branch on GitHub. And the reason that we're going to do this is, it's common convention to do all of your work on a branch and then merge it into master. And it also means that if you make a mistake, you're not committing directly to your master branch, and you can just switch off the branch and travel back in time. It's kind of a beautiful thing. So in your terminal, git checkout -b is what is going to it's a dual command that creates a new branch and then moves you onto it immediately. So we're going to create a new branch called Express Setup because we're going to be setting up our Express server. And then hit enter, and you should be on this new branch. Now, if it's harder for you with the way your terminal's set up to see what branch you're on, anytime you say git branch, it's going to show you a list of all your branches and a star next to the one that you are currently on. So you can always just double check there. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the server.js file, which is inside of our source folder, and we're going to set up Express. So the first thing I need to do is to require Express and all of the tools that it comes with into the project. So there's this little node modules folder that you may have noticed off to the side. And that is a very large folder that contains all of the packages and dependencies that you need. And so whenever we use the require function, we're telling our project to go inside of that node modules folder and find what we need. So I'm saying require Express. This is going to go into the Express folder right here, and it's going to grab out any functionality that we need from it. And it's going to do this automatically, which is pretty nice. So the next thing we want to do is set up the app command. This is what we're going to use it's the function that we're going to call to do basically just about everything in our server. So const app equals express, which is called as a function. So now we have access to all of the methods of Express. We're going to say app.listen. And in the future, we're going to make this port number a little more of a variable. But for now, let's just put in port 3000, which is kind of like the Express standard. So the first argument that listen takes is the port number, and the second is a callback function, which is optional. And I just want us to really easily be able to tell whether or not our server is working. So your server is running on port 3000. So at base level, this is all we need to set up a server. We're going to do a little bit more, but I just want to prove to you that this actually works. So but first, in order to run this, we need to go and do a little bit of setup in our package.json. So under scripts, I'm going to add a new one called start. And this is just telling Node to start running. So we're going to say Node to start running the project at this particular file. And so server, we're going inside the source folder and going to server, and we're saying run this file as the base level of this project. So now, if I go to the terminal, weird, and I say npm start, huzzah, our server is running on port 3000. So now if I go to my browser and I go to localhost 3000, you'll see this cannot get /. It's an error, and we're going to fix it in a moment, but that's telling you that the server is actually running there. If it wasn't running, we would get a different error. In fact, here, If you hit Control C, that's going to stop the server. And now I'm going to try to refresh this page, and it says this site can't be reached. If I start the server again, refresh my page, and there it is. Okay, so what's this cannot get slash? So we need to explicitly tell the server what is at the home root, which is the slash. It means that there's nothing after the slash. So we're going to say app.use. We're going to pass in the route that we want as our first parameter. And then our second, and this is a very familiar pattern in Express you may be noticing, is a callback function. So most functions in Express take these standard parameters. And I'm going to actually, you'll often see rec and res in projects. For this project, I'm actually going to force myself to type them out because I think it makes it super, super clear what's going on. So we have request and response. Another one that you'll often see is next. That tells it to move on to the next route. So Express, unlike a lot of JavaScript, is synchronous. So it will keep going through each of these routes until it finds a match, and then it will display that route, and it'll just keep going. So you can tell it to skip a route with the next argument. And I know that I'm probably not explaining that well, but at some point it'll come up and I will explain it better, I promise. So app.use home. So all we want to do is send a response. Response.json, meaning that we're going to be sending JavaScript object notation syntax like we have in our package.json. And we're going to say message hello there. All right, and I will explain this all more. We're going to see this pattern over and over and over again. So let me stop the server and restart it. And we're going to download a tool in the next video that allows our server to restart every time we change a file. All right. Oops, what is happening here? Oh yeah, I didn't actually send an object. My apologies. All right, let's start that again. Okay, server's running, no errors. Now I'm going to refresh the page, and there's our message. So there it is. So I think that's enough for one video. We actually have some code up on the screen. In the next video, we are going to create a couple of different dummy routes just to show you what it looks like, and we'll go forward from there.